President Trump is the most media-savvy president in American history.
This administration is running like a fine-tuned machine.
He's the most press-savvy president in American history, and he's also the most, at times, contradictory president in American history. Would you want to be his spokesman?
And I think if you look at the president's tweet, he said very clearly, quote, wiretapping.
It's got to be the hardest job in American politics.
The President of the United States has terminated the director of the F.B.I.
If there's one time that an administration needs to speak with a single, clear, unwavering voice, it's when it removes a top government official amidst a huge national scandal. This White House couldn't do it.
He has lost confidence in the FBI director, and he took the recommendation of Rod Rosenstein.
You had made the decision before they came in the room.
I was going to fire Comey.
He had decided that he wasn't fit. There's never going to be a good time to fire someone.
The issue is not who's speaking for the president, but the president himself.
The story that came out tonight, as reported, is false. At no time were intelligence sources or methods discussed. And I was in the room. It didn't happen.
It's hard enough for people in spokespeople's roles in White Houses to defend every utterance of any president. It's always a hard job. But add Twitter into the mix.
You're equating me addressing the nation here in a tweet? I mean, that's the silliest thing I've ever heard.
There you have the most thankless job in America, because you can't stay ahead of that unless you have ESP. What makes President Trump probably the hardest president to represent at the White House podium is President Trump's own history.
Did President Trump record his conversations with former FBI Director Comey?
I assume you're referring to the tweet, and I've talked to the president. The president has nothing further to add on that.
And why did he say that? Why did he tweet that? What should we interpret from that?
As I mentioned, the president has nothing further to add on that.
He says he knows how to do this job the best. That's why he tweeted this idea that maybe he'll get rid of these briefings.
Are you moving so quickly that your communications department cannot keep up with you?
Yes, that's true.
So what do we do about that?
We don't have press conferences, and we do...
You don't mean that.
Well, we just don't have them. Unless I have them every 2 weeks and I do myself.
This hurts one person the most, and that's President Trump. I think what he's learning is that credibility is going to be his stock and trade at the White House. This is not the campaign trail. This is not just about rallying your base. He's trying to govern, and governing requires being credible. Governing requires having reporters who can report your message and know that it's true. And the problem for reporters is you don't know what to believe.
A total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
And is it a Muslim ban?
Totally, it's not a Muslim ban.
It's a 90-day ban to ensure that we have further vetting restrictions.
The president himself called it a ban.
I understand.
Is he confused, or are you confused?
No, I'm not confused. I think that the words that are being used to describe it are derived from what the media is calling this.
What's not new is the idea that the presidential press secretary is out of the loop. What is new is that the press secretary goes out with what seems to be official information that is contradicted so quickly by the president himself.
The Justice Department has just appointed a special counsel to lead a new investigation into Russian influence in the election.
Well, I respect the move, but the entire thing has been a witch hunt.
The concern, and we hear this a lot from presidential scholars, is that when you get a White House, one that we haven't quite seen in this way before, whose word is so questioned, where you don't know, the average voter doesn't know.
No politician in history
It's just one big cloud of confusion.
has been treated worse or more unfairly.
And the argument goes, and there's a lot to this, it doesn't serve the president, it doesn't serve his team, it doesn't serve the press, and it certainly doesn't serve the people.
Thank you guys very much. I'll see you tomorrow.